to be very boring for the ones who are just looking for the charts for the first time, right? So good evening, everyone again. Um, see, uh, I think we all are Nepalese here, right? Dai?
Obviously, come on, नेपालीमा बोल्दा पनि हुन्छ के अरे
Eh,
उयो
eh,
गर्नु
eh.
आफ्टर पर्दैन
So
या
I'll be mixing Nepali and Hindi, right? English, sorry.
या या
So, so let's look at this, guys. Whenever we are thinking of buying or selling the stuffs, we are never, first of all, हामी यति एक्सपिरियन्स छैनौँ अहिले कि हामीले आफ्नो फोनमै एम्टी फोनमा हेरेर प्राइस माथि जाँदैछ सो लेट्स बाय प्राइस तल आउँदैछ सो लेट्स सेल this should not be our mentality as of now because हामी यति एक्साइटेड हुन्छौँ स्टार्टिङमा कि हामीले ल अब यो प्राइस माथि जाँदैछ यसमा बाय गरिदिइहालौँ एन्ड विल बी मेकिङ प्रफिट विथ ह्युज लट साइड सो द्याट इज नट गोइङ टु ह्यापन सो why did I say that? Because we have a Bible for us. We have a Bible for us to understand and then practice life. And the life is forex trading. And that Bible is nothing but trading. So I'll start it from a very fresh page here, right? So that we understand what it is. See, I know this could be very basic for some people, right? But I think there is at least one guy or girl in this call who have just joined and they do not know what is trading view. So trading view is something that gives you free of access to look at charts on their free account. So there'll be some restrictions, right? So this is the Bible and this is the place. This is your home if you really want to be a forex trader at a beginner and intermediate level. And when you understand how this thing goes on, you can invest on your part and then buy more stuffs and pay for more subscription. And then there are many softwares to jump onto to understand and look at a chart from a deeper perspective, right? So I'll share this link also in chat, right? So yeah, so this is very important. And you see, when we get into trading view, we get to have this page coming, right? So this page is going to be the same for all of us, except one thing, which is this, which is your account. So you normally have to log into this trading view portal and create an account. That simply includes your email ID and your password, and that's it. Nothing else. So guys, write it down. If somebody do not have a TradingView account in this call, I would request you to have one because there is no point of sitting on these calls in the future also without having a TradingView account. Because what I used to do, मैले के गर्थेँ भनेपछि मैले जुन पनि भिडियो जहिले 3 months भयो मैले स्टार्ट गरेको every video that I see, I minimize that video. If I understand what's going on without looking at it, I have my earplugs on and then I do that same thing on my chart. That's it. There's no rocket science. So you can have the tricks and the tips also which I followed, which is very basic. When you know where the tools and bars are, what you have to do is just plug into your tutor educator and do what he's saying. Simple. So he's trying to say that look at this point, I would move my cursor at that point and then look at that. So it was so simple, right? So it's just a chart that we have to understand at a basic level and then go ahead with that. So trading view ma आइयो हामीहरु यो account हाम्रो यो see a gimme one. This is my profile, very basic. I haven't paid for it, so I'm using the free version, right? So there are many things in this. Being a beginner, I do not think any one of us must be interested in any of it. So I also don't know many part of these things, right? So the only thing where you should be going as a beginner and as of today is on charts. This is the section where we click on and we get all the charts, all the stocks, and this is future, everything, the fiat currency, the bitcoins, crypto, everything we get at this point. So let's click on this. If at any point you have any doubt, anything not coming up in line, so please let me know. And we also, what you can do is I'll be putting cursor in that point for at least 5 seconds so that you can take a screenshot and you can make a file of yours like how things go here. So basically going to trading view, creating an account at this point, and once you have your photo or your Gmail stuff showing up here, simply click on charts, and this will move on to a different world, which is where you do your understanding, your analysis, and where you see before buying and selling what what time frame you have to wait and what point you have to wait for the price to come down or to go up for buying or selling. You know. So it's that simple. It's just a thin line between understanding what's to do before buying or selling. So that is what we are going to understand today. So let's go to the charts and simply click on it. Okay. So yeah, please let me know at any point if you could not hear me properly, and yeah, so I do not want any disturbance to be there, right? Anything to be not in our line. Yep. So you all can see the charts, right, guys?
Yes,
Let's make it
same.
interactive. Let's make it interactive. First session, no bumps to be thrown, man. Yeah. So we'll be talking about the charts and where to look, because what I feel is when we start riding bike in our childhood days, guys, understand this very properly. Today's call is all about human psychology and what we have lived. Yeah, we'll be trying to relate that thing to our charts. So when you start riding a bicycle in your childhood days, you literally do not know like how the balance goes on and where the brakes are, the front brake and the rear brake. So you are so blunder, you are so lost at that time, right? And this is what today might be for most of us when looking at this chart. So you do not know your subconscious, even if you are, your subconscious mind is trying to, understand where the things are or trying to relate, or if you are looking at the charts for the first time, trying to understand, yeah, oh, this might be this might be that, but you do not know, right? You have to pay a lot of attention. Believe me, guys, once you have a habit of looking at these charts again and again and again, and once you make it a hobby at some point, then all these things will be like riding a bike right now, which was so difficult in your childhood days is not so difficult now, at your adult age, right? So we'll be moving at every single point, ranging from the left hand side to the top hand side to the bottom side to the rear side. Every side we'll be looking at today. So this call is basically a call to understand where our tools are, what we have to look at when we get into the charts, and what this chart speaks to us. Is we do not look at the center part today because this is so much complicated, guys. You see up and down, up and down, up and down. This needs a lot of understanding of these tools first, and then jumping into the middle part, the main part, right? So we'll be starting from the top. You all know, right? Trading View. I went into my account, created an account, and then went into chart, and this thing popped up, right? So it's simply about EUR GBP, right? So see, in Forex, we basically trade currencies. So the first point as a beginner, because we also get signals for indices and for metals, right? Gold and silver, we all get it for that. But before jumping into that part, even our educators had to, go through this fiat currency because those things right now, those indices are very profitable. But we have to understand that profit means a good a good gain that includes a good risk because of their lot size, because of the the range that they give 500, 200, 1000 pips stop loss, which is not a joke as a beginner, right? If I lose today $50, I'll be so disheartened because I've just started. So I do not want that to happen to my account, right? So that's why what we do is we try to catch the small movements in the market of this fiat currencies, the currencies that are listed, right? So I hope we all have gone into, because I won't be touching out any part from what we have in our back office, right? In the scholars section. So that is what Coach Max has given us, which is the basic and including currencies, including the lot sizes and how to place an order on your phone. So that is all about when you understand this thing, this very thing, when you understand, then only you can be doing that, right? Or else you will be taking out the signals and doing that on your card, which is perfectly fine because someone must be very good at networking because this company gives a networking option also, which is so lucrative, and someone might be so very interested in learning to trade, right? So for those who are so much interested in learning to trade, and for those leaders who wants to train their own coming up people coming up building up their empire, if you really want to be at a point where you can take your personal classes for your group and make them understand that this is not a roller coaster if you understand this thing very properly. So this is for all of us, right? For all of us, so we can relate with that. Okay, so the first thing that we have to understand is Forex never works with just single currency. It has it has the let's say it as first currency, and then it has second currency listed to it. So which is base currency and the main currency. So let's not go into any technical terms and understand what this thing is, right? So you see, the first currency right here, if I were to, if you can see on my left-hand top right side, right? This is EUR GBP, and GBP you all can relate to. You all are from London, right? So whenever there is a currency listed on Forex market, it is never going to be a single currency. It is never going to be like what to say. It is never going to be only GBP or USD if you're trying to trade on the Forex market, right? There are options available which is at a higher point, which is to analyze from there and then apply here. So we'll be going at that part also. But we always have to remember every currency pair that is listed on this these charts has got a relation going on because one currency is quoted in respect to the other, right? So that is what we have to understand, and you'll get every lesson about that in terms of what currency pairs we have to trade in forex in the back office. So I'm not going to touch anything which is in the back office, which is a studious point of view. So I'll only be discussing about the trading view platform that we have here, right? So according to this, we have the first currency as EUR and the second currency is GBP, right? So guys, ever when you go into trading view, right? If if there is a tutor teaching you and they are teaching you a different currency pair, right? So how do you change that thing? How do you come to that currency pair first of all? So let me know how many of us know that, like so that I understand where we are at this point, right? How many of us know how to change a currency pair, how to get the chart which our tutor is looking at? So let's make it interactive, guys. We have a lot of time in the day. Don't worry about it. I'm waiting for answers to know how many of us know how to change a currency pair from here.
I think most of us doesn't know. I know, but most of us, because there are so many newbies over here.
Exactly. So
So
that's why it's so important to get onto this, right? So important to get onto this because if you do not understand how to change a currency pair, you will never be reaching out to the point where the tutor is teaching you, right? You will never be prepared to hear from the tutor at one point and do your analysis on the chart because you want to do it live, right? So guys, always remember you can take down notes for this. At the top right hand corner, we get the left hand corner, we get a currency pair and we get to click on this currency pair and change the currency pair that we are looking for and get the currency pair we are looking for, right? So there are two ways. Either you can move your cursor from the chart to this point and then click on it, and then something like this would pop up, and then you can simply type in your currency pair. So if I were to look at AUD USD, right, then I'll be typing AUD USD and enter. Simple. So this will be giving a chart for AUD USD. That's it. And if there is one more option to look for this, is simply putting your cursor anywhere and you just type EUR GBP. So automatically this thing would come up. So you do not have to move your cursor, which I got to know a week ago. You see, this is so silly. A week ago I got to know that. So I was so happy that I do not have to move my cursor now and go here and there. So you simply click on it and you'll be here on the chart of EUR GBP. It's that simple. So the first point is you look at the top left hand side corner and then see which currency pair actually the chart that you're looking for. So guys, I won't be able to see any of the chats, right? So please you can unmute yourself at any time and then you can see what's going on.
Excuse me. Actually,
Yes.
Abhishek bro, I just अलिकति इन्टरप्सन गर्नु पर्यो तिमीलाई हुन त इङ्ग्लिसमा कम्फर्टेबल नै भइरा होला कि तर would you mind most of नेपालीमै
No problem, no problem.
नेपालीमै भन्नु है
मैले त्यही भएर सोधेको नि के भइहाल्छ
है it's going so great अनि या if हाम्रो अभिषेक ब्रोले कुनै क्वेशनहरु सोध्छ भने चाहिँ तपाईहरुलाई एन्सर थाहा छ भने unmute yourself अनि तपाईहरुले चाहिँ रियाक्ट गर्दिनुस् ल कोही कसैलाई छ भने अनि
हामीहरु धेरै जना छैन है यो कलमा. So and we all are friends, right? I'm your friend, please take me as a friend. So So we can just unmute ourselves and understand where we are. If there is a question, if I'm trying to ask you something, that means I'm trying to know whether you understand this or not. If not, then I will be focusing more light on it because आज हामीले यो कुरामा धेरै जोड नदिए पा भोलि हामीले कम्प्लिकेटेड कन्सेप्टहरु बुझ्नै सक्दैनौँ एन्ड बिलिभ मी ट्रेडिङ इज सो मच लिक्विडेटिभ किनकि हामीले यिनी बेसिक कुरा सिके पर हाम्रो 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 भोलि अनकन्सियस माइन्डले जब हामीले धेरै फोकस नदिए पर पनि सिम्पली हामीले हेरेर त्यो कुरालाई एकदम आरामले के एकदम आसानीले हामीले त्यसलाई बुझ्न सक्छौँ त्यही भएर लेट्स फोकस अन द बेसिक्स फर्स्ट राइट एन्ड guys please bear with me because मेरो नेपाली चाहिँ यति राम्रो छैन I told this to Rubin Dai also before right that's why I was so comfortable in Hindi because I've lived all my life in India so lots of love for Nepal Nepal is the best and loving country for me but अलिकति अप्ठ्यारो लाग्छ नेपाली बोल्दा तर no problem I'll try my best right so
हिन्दी प्लस गरे पनि प्रब्लम छैन है
hey very good
ल हुन्छ अभिषेक सरी फर डिस्टर्ब है ल
no problem so हामीले के देख्यौं यहाँ top left hand side corner and write it on your notes please top left hand side corners you will be seeing your currency pair so someday if you jump onto the chart हजुरले गएर त्यहाँ यो न सोच्न पर्यो कि यो करेन्सी पेयर मैले कहाँदेखि चिन्छु नि इफ यु डु नट नो दैट सिम्पली इफ यु डु नट वान्ट टु मुभ योर कर्सर हामीले कर्सर मुभ गर्न खोजे पर हामीले के गर्ने सिम्पली यहाँ एयुडी युएसडी आफ्नो किबोर्डमा टाइप गर्ने हो कहीँ जान परेन बिकज यसले आफै पपअप गरेर दिइहाल्छ कि हाम्रो करेन्सी पेयर हो ल अब एन्टर गरिदिनु र एयुडी युएसडी यहाँ आइहाल्छ है so let's go back to UR GBP because that chart is pretty clean for me हामीले यो चीजहरु हो next you see there are so many time frames this is 15M 30M 1 hour 4 hour day week and always remember this guys mark this thing as a time tool on your chart kinaki you will not only be going to look at one time frame there are so many time frames किन हामीहरुले के गर्न सोच्छौं कि ल this has happened to me a lot of time right I'll be trying to relate myself whenever a chart used to open right okay मैले कहिले पनि देखे थिएन about a month ago or 2 months ago right कि कुन टाइममा चलिरहेछ त्यो which is so important for us to know why time is so important I'll tell you because this relates with the charts here and हामीले यो कुरा बुझेपर मात्रै यो कुरा बुझ्न सक्छौं त्यही भएर हामीले आज यो टप र साइड को कुराहरु बुझिरहेछौं है time is so important because every time frame that you select right if suppose okay let's do it like this you see this guys I'll click on this cursor if somebody wants to take a screenshot of this and make a file of their own screenshot naming their file that is the best way to understand and have the records tracked right so if you were to click at this arrow down you arrow ma hamle click garepa hamle ke dekhchau हामीले देख्छौं यहाँ धेरै टाइम फ्रेम्सहरु आएको छ and this time frames are the one that we are looking at and we'll be going to look at हामीले कहिले पनि एनालिसिस एउटा टाइम फ्रेममा गरेर त्यही टाइम फ्रेममा के भन्छन् ट्रेड लिन is quite critical because you want confluences हामीले चाहन्छौं कि धेरै भन्दा धेरै फोर्सेसहरु and confirmationsहरु एउटै सबै टाइम फ्रेममा अलाइन होस् र त्यसपछि मात्रै हामीले एउटा ट्रेडमा एन्टर गर्नुहोस् दैट इज व्हाट आवर मेन मोटिभ इज बिकज हामीले कन्फर्म गरे पर related to your life guys before coming to inland you went to so many consultants right it was not just one consultant even if there was a family consultant you tried it outside whether this guy is trying to bluff me and bluff me or not so this is the same thing here it's all that you do that with your life you can relate here so when you click on that very little what do you say arrow down here you'll see so many time frames and you see these stars I'll unmark them first right this is how you set up your chart this is how you will set up your chart now you see there's no so many lines coming up there's no arrow coming up what I'm going to do is simply click on this thing because this is going to be your fresh chart हाम्रो fresh chart भनेको यही फर्स्ट चोटी लगइन जसले पनि गर्नुहुन्छ fresh chart मा हामी एन्टर हुन्छौं र हामीले कुनै टाइम फ्रेम हेर्दैन but you'll be saying like Abhishek told us that there'll be so many times listed on here but there are no times right so let's start it from the basic click on this thing because this is when you go up here यसमा लेखेको छ 1 week 1 week means what it means, I'll tell you. But I'll tell you first how to set up the times, right? Click on this 1 week thing, and then you will see so many things coming up, right? So guys, note it down. The main time frames that you should have on your charts on to see from a top perspective to the entry level, right? To understand the trend or to understand where the chart is going, where the price is going, and then coming down to the entry level point. So write it down. The first thing is 15 minutes. Just you have to go here and click on this chart, add to favorite. 30 minutes, 1 hour, a day, and obviously a week. This is the best time frame that I play with, right? So you can take a screenshot of this. If somebody is taking a screenshot, please take it, because this is the basic, and this is where from we do a top to down analysis, because we never हामीले कहिले पनि जम्प गर्दैनौँ के चार्टमा कि ल अब किन्ने हो अब बेच्ने हो प्राइस तल जाँदैछ कि माथि जाँदैछ that will be so much foolish, guys. 50%, or I would say 90% of the times will be true, right? Coincidence, you can be true, you have the blessings of God at that time, right? But for that 10% or for 1%, that would be your you know the worst experience ever in the market, because 90% of the time you were true. 90% हामी true भएपछि 10% मा ल अझै लाउने अझै पैसा लाऊ अझै बनाऊ अझै कमाऊ किन 0.2 0.3 मा मात्र 0.3.0 लागिहाल्यो. Even if account doesn't allow, we have the grace of God. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to have your analysis done first. Analysis नगरे पार you have the maximum chances of losing. So these are the time frames that you have to have selected on your chart. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, and a week, right? So when you have the stars on, what you have to do is click anywhere on the charts and you see now. So we have done two things: where to go and change our time, the currency pair, and where to go and adjust our time frames, right? I'll show you why is it so much important to know about these time frames, and to know why to adjust this time frame, right? So guys, let me zoom into the chart. I'll only be this time, going on to the chart and showing you relating with this time, right? So I want every one of us to see here. If I have मेरो यो टाइम फ्रेममा मैले यहाँ 1 week सेलेक्ट गरेको which selection कसरी हुन्छ भनेपछि यो W यहाँ blue कलरमा देखाउँछ. That means it is different from all of these colors, right? Which is black, and W is selected. So week is selected. You click on week again, right? If you click on day, you see the chart will change. The chart has changed. If you click on 1 hour, the chart has changed. But I'll be clicking on W here first. Now, the best thing to understand, and most of the people who are trading for a long time, who are still beginners, do not know about this. And that very thing is this candle. Every candle that you see on the chart, जुन पनि क्यान्डल हजुरले देखिराख्नु भएको छ यहाँ हैन, यो क्यान्डलले एउटा टाइम लिन्छ के फर्म गर्नको लागि, and that time is simply the time frame that you have selected here. And that is why I said we have to relate to the charts, and relate to the charts with the time means this, because हामीले यहाँ W week select गरेपछि every candle you see here, it has taken a week to form. Now let's make it a real time analysis. Guys, you see your candle अहिले पनि तलमाथि गरिरहेछ, okay? And I have a simple question to ask, for everyone. Type it on the chat. Oh, sorry, no, unmute yourself and tell me how long will this candle take to close and for the other candle to form. If the question is not clear, I'll say it again. कति टाइम लाग्छ यो क्यान्डललाई, जसरी यो क्लोज भएपछि यो स्टार्ट भयो है, अब यो क्लोज भएपछि अर्को क्यान्डल स्टार्ट हुनको लागि कति टाइम लाग्छ यार?
7 days.
1 week.
1 week, okay. And how about other answers?
Yeah, 1 week.
अहिले कति टाइम बाँकी छ हामीसँग यो क्यान्डललाई क्लोज भएर अगाडि अर्को क्यान्डल हुनको लागि? That's a smart answer because every candle will take 1 week to form, right? But right now this has already started. This has already made its move, right? अब यो मुभ गरिहालिसकेपछि हामीसँग कति टाइम छ अर्को क्यान्डल फर्म हुनको लागि?
3 days and 2 hours.
That is so smart, D.
No?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, okay.
That's right. So
Alright.
if there was anyone who didn't know 3 days and 2 hours is the time frame, and Didi is not uh, not gifted with some spiritual power to say that without having an understanding of the chart, because she knows मलाई थाहा छ you 3 days and 2 hours कहाँ आइरहेको छ, right? So this 3 days and 2 hours, when you go straight from this candle, you see this, guys. I'll make it so much clear for you all. You see this blue line, this is not here by surprise. This is going to go up and down, up and down. You move गर्छ कि you do not watch that many steps in a day that this thing is going to move, because this is price line, your line. Write it down on your notes, guys. I do every silly things I write down on my notes, right? That is my habit. I have my notes here. If you do not believe, I have my notes here. If I say something or if I get to hear anything new from you guys, I'll be writing it down, right? So every time this line goes up and down, you should understand कि हाम्रो price तलमाथि गइरहेको छ, because your line चाहिँ always this is going to be in touch with the last candle, no matter what time frame you are, right? हामीले यति बुझ्न पर्यो, कहिले पनि हामीले चार्ट हेर्दाखेरि we should never be looking at this chart and saying the price by going from here all the way from here to here and then looking at this one. No, केही हेर्न परेन. When our chart is so much clear, right, we should only be looking at this blue line, and this blue line is going straight here on this price line, right? So this blue line goes straight here and says that the price of EU or GBP right now is 0.90792. Okay, so this हाम्रो यो left hand side, right hand side on the vertical line, right, x axis or y axis जुन हामीले सानोमा पढेछौँ है. So हामीले सानोमा के पढेको, सिम्पल हामीले पढेपछि खाइहाले कुनै यादै छैन अहिले कसैलाई पनि, मलाई पनि याद थिएन. So I've just started, right? So this is, if I were to give it a point, so this is x, right, and this is y. So let's relate what we have learned in our childhood and see how silly it is that we didn't know about Forex till this point, right? So this is x-axis and this is y-axis. You see the x-axis is here, right? And this is the x-axis, right? And this is the y-axis. Y-axis is the bottom line. So it's trying to relate with us. It's trying to talk with us from our childhood days, but we didn't see this because we didn't have this opportunity, right? So now when we have the opportunity, let's make out the best of it. That's what we are aiming for. So we had a look at this time frame as a week, right? And from the weekly time frame, we see every week, every candle, her candle le एक week launch form होने लगी. So next time when you will be doing your own analysis, when you will be jumping onto your own charts, right? What you will see here is your candle close भइहालेको होला, right? Arco candle form भयो होला, and arco candle form भएपछि straight when you go, you will see the price here, and next just bottom on the price, how Didi said 3 days and 2 hours. That's not a coincidence, because she had a look at this thing, and this thing is trying to tell you that it still has 3 days and 2 hours to close, which most of the people who have been into Forex for a long time also, who are just want to buy and sell, they do not know about this. It's because they are not trying to learn the basics. And they wonder when this price candle would close and then I'll go here. Because most people do not know what time frame they are into, how many days are left, and price कसरी हेर्ने, price हेर्न पनि कतिलाई थाहा हुँदैन के. And they simply guess कि ल यो पॉइन्टमा छ र यो यहाँ हुन्छ. They do not know why this line is here. But we are now clear, I guess. Everyone is clear with what candle time does it takes to form, and how will you say कसरी भन्नुहुन्छ हजुरले कि यो क्यान्डललाई एक हप्ता लाग्छ फर्म हुन, बिकज हामीले यहाँ देखिरहेछ कि यहाँ यो W मा जब क्लिक छ, right? So when this thing is in W, right, that means this is going to take 1 week to form. When we go to daily, this day is 1 day. Move your cursor and try to read what that thing is. Jun text that speaks a lot in itself. So you do not have to go to anywhere, right, to understand these basics. But we are here, right, so that we understand it in a shorter span of time without any confusion, right? So day, your daily ma aba ke dekhai raha hai, every candle takes 1 day to form, right? See, guys, the day has just the day is about to end, right? So Sydney session start hone wala cha, Asian session. So how many hours do we have left here? We will get to see from this very thing, right? It says 1 hour 17 minutes 45 seconds left now to close this candle, which is a sort of GK for the ones who do not know about this. So यति कुरा हामीले बुझ्यौं कि यो जुन प्राइस लाइन छ, this is blue right now because हामी यो क्यान्डल को तल छैनौं, यो स्टार्टिङ पोइन्ट को तल छैनौं, and I'll be talking about starting and closing point also. So yeah, now we are in line कि कुन टाइम फ्रेममा हामीले सेलेक्ट गर्यौं र how to relate that time frame into the charts and see whether the candle is at the end of closing or whether it has just started. We also saw the price line. You हाम्रो price line. So you see the last candle. This is not a coincidence that this candle and the line which is right at the top is lying, on the top itself, because हाम्रो price line हो यो last candle को point लाई हामीले हेरिरहेछौं, and this will go up and down on the basis of this, this candle going up and down, and so as the price, because this is straight away trying to relate on your x-axis, which is the price thing here, right? And trying to say that this is the current price of this pair, and this is the time frame that you are looking at, and this is how much time is left for the other candle to form. Are we all clear, guys? Anything that we do not understand here? And we are trying to relate everything with our, with our lives. So x-axis, y-axis, हामीले पढिरहेछौं आजसम्म, तर थाहा नै छैन हामीहरुलाई कि how to see that thing on the chart, but I guess now we all are clear. So if you didn't know, that is very much fine, because you have taken an initiative to change your understanding from somewhere, and that's why you're on this call right now. We all are discussing here, which is commendable, man. At the end, so late out there, right? But still you're devoting your time, which is so nice. Okay, so let me know, are we all clear up to here or not? We'll be going very slowly. This might take 2 sessions, right? But no problem. Let's do it, because we have a lot of time to go, right? Are we all clear here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, let's all. I'm sorry, an interactive home, right? Like together we can learn better, right? So still, कतिजना चाहिँ अब आजमा त if you are joining अझै बुझ्नु भएको छैन भने चाहिँ we'll again break into slow time, हैन? अनि we'll take it from there, right? So तर तपाईहरुले पनि on time मा चाहिँ त्यो हाम्रो एपिक युनिभर्सिटीमा त्यो चार्टहरुको ट्रेडिङ बाइबलहरु छ, तिनीहरु पनि हेर्दै गर्नुस् हैन, त्यो हेरेर हुन्छ तपाईहरुलाई यो अलिकति बुझ्न सजिलो हुन्छ. अगेन दिस थिंग्स आर भेरी बेसिक, हैन? अगेन तपाईहरुले बुझ्नु भएन भने चाहिँ डु नट वरी, विल ग्रो एज अ टिम, हैन? अनि अझै मजाले ब्रेकडाउन गरेर विल गो फ्रम देयर, लाइक अभिषेक सेड.
Yeah, that's how it should be going. So when you go into 15 minutes, the same thing will happen. Every candle forming, this will be staying out the time. कति टाइम बाँकी छ अनि त्यही हिसाबले त्यो चलिरहेको छ. So this is not a rocket science, guys. So yeah, this time thing is done, and the price is also done. Now you see, हामीले यो माथिको कुरा बुझेपछि मात्रै हामीहरुले यो टुल चुज गर्न सकिन्छ. That's why I'm going on at the top hand side, because हाम्रो एजुकेटर्सले जब सिकाउनुहुन्छ नि, they do not ever go to this thing and say, oh, this is the candle type that we have. They'll be simply going on to, oh, let's look at the line, and you will be like wondering, your line kahan dekhiya, because you won't be able to do that on your chart, right? Because we want to learn. हामीले आफ्नो एजुकेटर्स हाईली एजुकेटेड र हाईली एक्सपिरियन्स एजुकेटर्सहरुदेखि सिक्नको लागि हामीलाई थाहा हुन पर्यो कि उनीहरुले के बोलिरहेछन् र कुन पोइन्टमा गएर उहाँहरुले क्लिक गरिरहेछन्, and then the story goes on. So अब यो टाइम फ्रेम 15 minutes टाइम फ्रेममा छ युआर जीबीपी. Now what we are looking at is, see guys, there are only 2 candle patterns that our educators look for. So when you go next to the time frame, take a screenshot of this, because this thing talks about candles, the types of candles जुन हामीहरुको लागि available छ यो trading view. Let me just take off my jacket, guys. It was so cold in the morning. Now it's so hot. Sorry about that. Okay, so when you go into candles, click on it, and then you see now this thing is pointed on candles. You do not have to make a star or anything on this, because this will be anyhow available for you, right? No many options to go for. हामीहरु दुईटा अप्सन्समा मात्रै जान्छौं, which is first one is candle. Candle चाहिँ अहिले हामीहरुको स्क्रिनमा छ है. Second one is line. And you know why line? Because this is such a clear view of the charts here, because हामीलाई कुनै पनि तल माथि धेरै गएको केही पनि छैन. पर्फेक्ट एकदम डिफाइन्ड छ कि ल यो अब माथि गइरहेछ. Okay, this stopped at this point, and now you tala ayo ekaichhin यहाँ नाच्यो अनि त्यसपछि फेरि माथि गयो फेरि तल आयो, right? But when you look at the candle form, you see so many ups and down, ups and down, ups and down. So this is, you know, दिमागलाई पनि यसले खाइदिन्छ कि when you're looking at this point at the starting thing. So sometimes when you're so much fed up of looking at this ups and downs, what you can do is simply your candles में जानुस्, त्यहाँपछि लाइनमा क्लिक गर्नुस्, and you'll see, you know, very clean picture of the chart, right? So this is about candles, right? And compare and add symbol is the next thing, which I normally do not do because I do not want to, you know, compare any currencies right now. My focus is मेरो जुन करेन्सी यहाँ देखाएको छ मैले त्यसमै नै फोकस गर्ने हो, म अरु कुनै करेन्सीलाई यसमा कम्पेयर गर्न चाहन्छु because I do not want it to be complicated, right? So मैले यो सिम्बललाई आजसम्म छोएको छैन. Maybe tomorrow if I'll be so much advanced to compare two currencies and then make a decision, त्यो बेला मैले यो इन्डिकेटरलाई यो बारलाई छोएर हैन फेरि अघि बढ्न सोच्छु, तर I'm not interested right now. So we learned 3-4 things, right? There, the time thing, the candles type, and we also related how a chart looks, you know, timing and price and for the time baki, also those things, right? Next thing is indicators that everyone. You see, indicators are so much important because यो कुरा चाहिँ यहाँ बुझ्न पर्यो. कुनै पनि प्राइसलाई तलमाथि हुनको लागि there are two things, right? Either there is a news, right, or there is a technical analysis going on. So there are two things which are the things that affects the price movement in the forex market, right? These things going up and down, these are like कुनै रहर छैन कि यस्तै तलमाथि जानको लागि, because there is someone driving out this price, and those someones are looking at two things, which is fundamentals. Is that 90% of the things goes in the market by fundamentals. That is what my experience says as of now. And 10% I would say technicals line with fundamentals. That is what I got to know just a few days ago. Because हामीले यो कुरा बुझ्न पर्यो, simply कुनै पनि fund manager US को जसले billions of dollars लाई manage गरिरहेछ, right? He is not simply going on to his with his car to the office, simply sitting on the charts and making decisions on basis of, you know, drawing zigzag and trend lines. He's not doing that. He's trying to make the most out of his money which his company owns by looking at the fundamentals. उनले के हेर्छन् कि हाम्रो इकोनोमी कस्तो भइरहेछ, कुन कन्ट्रीको इकोनोमी राम्रो छ, त्यसमै मैले इन्भेस्ट गर्छु. So you should not be surprised, which was my perception at the first, right? मैले यो सोच्थे कि लन्डन सेसन स्टार्ट हुन्छ भनेपछि every investor in London is going to invest in GBP, and thus this GBP price will increase. If this is the perception, हाम्रो दिमागमा यो perception छ कि लन्डन सेसन स्टार्ट हुन्छ, ओके लन्डन भनेको GBP, सबै इन्भेस्टरहरूले GBP मा इन्भेस्ट गर्छन्. Please take this out of your mind. This is a myth. This is not going to happen. मैले यो सोच्थे थाले because I always used to come from my work in New York session, always used to bet on USD and see the price going down, and I was like, what the fuck is happening, man? Because USD को सेसन स्टार्ट भएछ अनि US dollar मा इन्भेस्ट गरिरहेछन् मान्छेहरूले GBP मा इन्भेस्ट गरिरहेछ. Why? Because the US economy is poor at that time. US economy poor छ, त्यही भएर मान्छेहरूले US त्यहाँको इन्भेस्टर्सहरूले US मा इन्भेस्ट गरेछन्. They do not care what happens to their country. They only want to make money out of it. They'll be driving price up. US price फेरि ड्राइभ गर्छन् उनले माथि, तर अहिले गर्दैनन् because अहिलेको सिचुएसनमा most of the investors are investing in other pairs because US को न्यूज यस्तो आएको छ कि US को करेन्सी र इकोनोमी डाउन छ. सो यो कुरा हामीले क्लियरली बुझ्न पर्यो. भोलि बिहान हजुरहरू उठ्नुहुन्छ है, हजुरहरूले हेर्नुहुन्छ GBP पेयरको प्राइस is not going to skyrocket if the economy is not good. GBP is doing well right now. Economy is good, believe me. All the news that's coming up, it's all good, like in line, not as worse as USD, right? त्यही भएर हामीले GBP मा अहिले अप्टिमिस्टिक हुन सक्छौं. तर भोलि बिहान GBP को न्यूज आएपछि अनएम्प्लॉयमेन्ट एकदम तल खसेछ, अनि पे राइज कसैले पाएको छैन, अनि न्यू इन्डस्ट्रीजहरु एड भएको छैन. All these things will be covering in the future, right? So यो सब कुरा सुनेपछि कुनै पनि इन्भेस्टरले, लन्डनको इन्भेस्टरले, they are not going to put their money in GBP. लन्डनको करेन्सीमा, युके को करेन्सीमा कसैले पैसा हाल्दैन. So do not have a surprising thing going on in your mind कि भोलि बिहान लन्डन सेसन स्टार्ट हुन्छ र I'll be investing in GBP. This is not going to happen, right? So for that, so there are two things I said, right? Fundamentals and technical analysis. Fundamental analysis is all about news. News, we go to Forex factory and we look from there, right? But we are not interested that in that point right now. So what we are going to do is we'll be looking at how to plot indicators, how to bring indicators from this function in our charts, right? So I'll be simply clicking on indicators here. Let's click on indicators, and yeah, the basic indicator that I'll be using is yeah, moving average, right? अब के गर्ने हो यो indicator section मा आएपछि it is the same like this point, right? The currency pair. When you come to the search bar, हजुरले यहाँ क्लिक गर्नुहोस् र exponential या कुनै पनि indicator तपाईले खोजिराख्नु भएको छ भने तपाईले त्यसमा क्लिक गर्नुहोस् र one more tip on at this point, guys. There are so many options. Do not go into the built-in library, right? Well, sorry, the public library. This is either charged or someone has, created it and they have posted it publicly. So you should not be so much blindly, trusting anyone because उनीहरूको के settings मिलाएर उनीहरूले गरेछन्. But the standard thing is always available in built-ins. So you can still do the same thing here. Add to favorite गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ if you are so much in love with this indicator and simply click on it. Right click on this. Now we go back to our chart. You see, I've just clicked on it. Now you go back to our chart and there's a line showing up. What will happen sometimes is, do not worry about the time frame or whatever we are into, because we are looking onto the what do we say, the indicator right now, right? So we went to this point, indicators, and next we typed on the indicators. So the next indicator, simply I've typed pivot point standard, favorite gardini. If you want to see that indicator again showing up, right? And then click on it, right? And then you see pivot point indicators will also come, right? Now let's look at how do we set these indicators. Just one indicator, simple setting, not into the numbers, right? How do we make it visible for us and where the setting option is? That's it. Every indicator could take up to a class to understand, guys, up to 1 hour to understand. So we are not going to go deep into that, right? Because we are just learning this point and this side today, right? EMA 50, whatever it is, leave it. It's just an indicator. You see this point. Take a screenshot of this, guys. When you move your cursor on top of the EMA or the indicators that you have on, you have two main important things, right? I would say three main important things. But one is hide, other one is settings, and the other one is remove. There are three things. Hide. अब हजुरहरूले कतिहरूले सोच्नुहुन्छ कि यो मैले इन्डिकेटर त हाले तर इन्डिकेटरै सो गरेको छैन के गर्नु यो इन्डिकेटर त कति ट्युटर्सहरूले यस्तो भने कि इन्डिकेटर हाल्ने बित्तिकै सो हुन्छ बट समटाइम्स हाम्रो सेटिङ्समै यो सो गरेको हुन्न. This is also one of the basic things, but people spend their day finding out where this indicator would be coming out from. So there are three things in an indicator, right? Which is show. Show this thing first. You see, there's an eye icon here because हाम्रो आँखा close भए but you're not able to see anything what's in front of us. You beautiful guy sitting in front of me, I'm not able to see that, right? When I close my eyes, when I open my eyes, then I can see, this indicator is here, and so many people are here on the call. So close, open. So do it. Practice गर्नुहोस्. यो बच्चाले practice गर्नुहोस्. Then only this will be, in your blood. कसरी हेर्ने यो कुराहरू. So show and hide. This is what we do, right? Next thing is this setting bar. Phone मा हाम्रो settings हुन्छ. त्यो अलि ठुलो आइकन हुन्छ यहाँ अलि सानो छ. लोभ गरेछ नि यहाँ मान्छेहरूले यसलाई ठुलो गर्नको लागि. But no problem. You see settings मा गएर we can adjust everything here, right? So the input and style. Input is basically input भनेको हाम्रो settings. कति number हाल्ने कति standard मा त्यसलाई हामीले हेर्ने हो. And style is the color. Like how do you want to see this on your chart? If it's a black background, how do you want to see it? White करने की blue करने. So this is how we change it, right? So every indicator will have two things, which is input and style. Just write it down because भोलि बिहान के हुन्छ, you'll be so much in line with this, and by the end of the year when you'll be revising all your concepts, right? You'll be thinking, right? कति silly कुरा थियो के त्यो दिन मलाई थाहा थिएन या मलाई थाहा थियो तर मैले practice गरेको थिएन. But always revising everything at the end of the year is the best thing, and that is how you become the master. So I have my notes. I have 2 notes filled up now in 2 months, very thick notes, because I'm writing every silly thing. And by the end of the year, by the end of the month, in spite of just looking into Insta stories and all, I'll be going into this because I want this to happen to me, this thing to work for me, right? So silly things, but still work out, right? So I'm your indicator ma gayo. This was hide and show option. This was setting option. And if you're not interested in this, You want to remove this thing out, remove it from it, you see. Pivot. Pivot हामीले क्लिक गरेको छौं तर we do not see this thing coming up on the chart. Why? Because this is hidden. This is still hidden. Let's show it. Show भयो यो यस्तो line आउँछ. This is the most important indicator that I use on my daily analysis to buy or sell, right? So we'll be discussing about this also. And I learned this from Epic Educators. So thanks to them. Settings, the same things. You click on settings, input and style. See guys, same thing. तर धेरै options फरक हुन्छन्. तर main motive भनेको input मा हामीले सधैँ number हाल्छौँ. See, I was not wrong here, right? Input मा हामीले numbers हाल्छौँ. The style मा we modify how do we want to look at these things, because हामीले चाहन्छौँ कि यो हाम्रो comfortable zone मै हामीले देखिने गरी यो कुरा आओस् के हाम्रो अगाडि, right? Not interested, remove it from it. That's it. So that was about this function thing. So how do you get one function, one indicator from this tab? Simply search on it. If you click on it, you'll get it here. And how do you adjust those things? If you click on it, right? It's yeah. I mean, your indicator you want to make any settings, same thing, hide settings and remove, right? So are we all clear with indicators, like how to get indicators into our charts? Are we all clear, guys? Perfect. Loving it. Okay. Being very true, I use only these many options on top of this, on the toolbar side of this chart, because I have my price setup, I have my timeline setup, I have my candles setup, I also have my indicators in, right? So these are the 4 or 5 things that I've discussed. Rest, everything I do not do any at all. So you can name your chart. Your chart like it's like name. Obviously, this has a name of its own, right? EU or GBP. So I do not name it. If you want to name it, just click on it, or I don't know how to do that either. So just leave it. Yeah, leave it for now. You do not want to. What's happening? Yeah, you do not want to name it as of now. You have a name already, EU or GBP. Right? So if anyone can unmute themselves and say what we all discussed here, then we'll be moving on to the next part. Or you call early and gonna person, we are still good to go because it's 1 hour. You say what do you?
So let's have an interactive lesson. So I think to start एकदम basic को लागि I think आजको लागि if everyone would agree. भागिमान गुजी, what do you say about this? And I think Abhishek तिमीले पनि पढिरहेछ हैन. So I think let's not take it too much at a time. I know you've been so passionate, interesting भइरहेछ. तिम्रो you've woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning and given us यस्तो राम्रो education दिइरहेछ. So let's take it slowly भन्छु है म चाहिँ, to be honest. So तर yeah, I think we should wrap it up. And main thing obviously take notes, take notes, revision even he had a thick, he has got a thick notes. So please do take notes. Personal, if you ask anyone, they will definitely take notes. So simple please do take notes. Yeah, I think Abhishek, we should wrap it up and let's take it slowly. Bhagiman Gurji, I think you'd be agree, on the senior Gurji. Please, everyone.
If anyone can, unmute themselves and discuss what we did, there'll be, literally an interactive session at the end of the call, right? That will be boosting up the team itself, right? Because someone has understood and someone is ready to make them understand when I'm not there or the educators are not there, right? So if anyone can unmute themselves and talk about these pairs, right? Starting from here and here, just 10 seconds for everything will be very much, beneficial for all of us.
Let's be interactive. Yeah.
Who is the volunteer here?
Hello, namaste सबैजनालाई.
Okay.
मलाई चाहिँ अहिलेसम्मको जुन भाइले भनिराख्नु भएको छ हैन, इन्फर्मेसनहरु, it was really great. म चाहिँ एकदमै इन्जोय गरिरहेको थिएँ हैन. तर अहिले लास्टमा त म कता फोनतिर हेरेको बेला परेछ, त्यो इएमए देखि अर्को पिओ कि के भन्नु भएको थियो, यस्तो सेटिङ मैले हेर्नु पाइनँ.
हजुर दी के भन्नु भयो रे?
ओ मेरो ल्यापटपबाट राम्रो सुन्दैन जस्तो लाग्छ. एक्चुअली फेरि त्यो सेटिङ्स छ नि, इएमए देखि अर्को पिओ कि के भन्नु भएको थियो.
Exactly.
त्यो सेटिङ्स एक्चुअली भन्नु न प्लिज.
Exponential moving average. Yeah. सो हामीले अहिले के गर्यो इन्डिकेटर उसलाई इन्डिकेटर हामीले भन्छौँ हैन अब इन्डिकेटर्सको लागि एपेक्स मा गयो फंक्सन बटनमा र कुनै पनि मैले त चाहिँ सिम्पल एउटा बिकज दिस इज व्हाट वी आर गोना युज है हामीले धेरै युज गरिन्छ यो चिज है सो हामीले त्यसमा क्लिक गरेपछि हामीहरु यो इन्डिकेटरमा आयो सो दिस इज द इन्डिकेटर चार्ट बाहेक जुन पनि चिज हामीलाई शो गरिरहेको छ त्यो हाम्रो इन्डिकेटर हो व्हिच इज दिस लाइन राइट नाउ राइट सो तीनटा कुरा यसमा हामीले बुझ्यौ दैट इज हाम्रो कुनै पनि इन्डिकेटर्स अन गरे पर पनि हाम्रो कुनै कुनै बेला यसरी शो गर्दैन सी वी हैव द इन्डिकेटर हियर तर हाम्रो शो नै गरेको छैन किन बिकज हाम्रो our eyes are closed you see show button is closed it has a cross sign on this right त्यही भएर हाम्रो यो इन्डिकेटर नै शो गरेको छैन which is so silly I also used to find it for hours त्यो कहाँ गयो त्यो इन्डिकेटर यार त्यो देखेकै छैन and this is the reason so there are three important things when you go into an indicator which is show settings and remove so if you're not able to see it or if you want to hide गर्न पनि धेरै युज हुन्छ बिकज हाम्रो एक बेला हुन्छ वी आर सो एडभान्स विल बी ह्याभिङ 50 or I don't know like जति पनि इन्डिकेटर्स हाम्रो यो यसमा हुन सक्छ राइट बट इफ यू डु नट वान्ट टु गो हियर अगेन एन्ड पिक इट अप एन्ड क्लोज इट हियर राइट सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज सिम्पली हाइड गरे पर यो इन्डिकेटर हटिहाल्यो राइट एन्ड जस्ट वान सिम्पल एक्जाम्पल जसरी हामीले अहिले यो पोइन्टमा पिभट मात्रै हेर्न खोजिरहेको छौँ है पिभट मात्रै हेर्न खोजिरहेको छौँ सो वी हेभ दिस पिभट थिङ अन राइट पिभट इज अन off on off right so we have this on but what if we are also willing to look at EML हमले simply यहाँ गएर show click गरिदिहाल्ने and we have pivot and we also have EML in line with us right and the second thing is settings the settings मा click गरेपछि there are always going to be major two settings which is input and style if you want to write what will be there on input is all about settings in terms of numbers त्यो indicator लाई हामीले numbers command दिएको छौं so that it will be in line with our understanding and our settings and style is always going to be in related to the colors that you want to see. See suppose you want to make it red and you click on okay here so you see this color which was blue previously has become red because your eyes are shooting with red right that's why you have this color and third option I'm here to you remove so you can remove your indicator from here hide and show from here right setting from here and remove that's it these are the only basic things to understand from from this top toolbar next is this which is a bit complicated and which not complicated a bit advanced so yeah which is very good that we are not doing it today because if we play with this 1 2 3 4 things for today and if we make a trading view account this will be very much very much helpful for all of us so yeah thank you Dee.
thank you
I hope you're clear now Dee के त्यसमा इन्डिकेटर्समा हामीले गरौँ
yes anyone questions अनि please don't feel shy है open up अनि अलि मजाले क्वेशन गर्नु भए हुन्छ है हाम्रो अभिषेक
anything that that you have
can I ask something
yeah sure
yeah hi Abhishek you explained about that candlestick
yeah
I just wanted to know, like, when is the best time to enter the market?
Okay, the best time is because Forex is open all the time, right? Right? Yeah. Forex भनेको 24/7 for 5 days, right? So this is a 24/7 opportunity. तर हामीले के गर्ने हो कि ल अब मैले एउटा सिम्पल कुरा यहाँ भन्छु है if you want to take a note of this just 2 minutes लाग्छ यसमा हैन if you right click on this thing right click on the chart go to settings and on appearance if it's at symbols do not worry come down to appearance and click on this session breaks on gardeners
okay that's right? Great thank you
and then you click on okay
right okay
right oh it didn't show up I'm quite surprised let me see it here it should be showing up what the heck is wrong with it oh yeah it's showing up okay now you see Daju Azule Sodnubo when is the best time to enter the market right first of all we should always be prepared ki euda session dekhi arko session jadai cha right this thing you see the blue line from here to here this shows a day hamro अहिले हामीले 1 hour candle ma focus गरिरहेको छौँ है 1 hour candle मा हामीले focus time frame मा focus गरिरहेको छौँ. So if you count these candles, these are going to be 24 because in a day we have 24 hours, right? So 24 वटा candle हाम्रो यहाँ show गरेको हुन्छ है. अब हजुरले सोध्नुभयो when is the best time to enter the market? I would say when it is the end of the market, do not enter.
Okay.
When it is that is my personal thing, Raju, because what I see is I always do analysis, and I'm so eager to share that analysis. Every one of us can do it. 3 pairs mein humle choose gare par, which I discussed with the other sessions yesterday with the other teams yesterday, right? If we have 3 pairs selected, if we know what I will be sharing, right, which I got to know from Epic Educator, I'm so happy about that, right?
Okay, nice.
By looking at the previous 2 days, you can think and you can do your analysis for the coming day, the day you are on, and make decisions on that day. I like to trade every day, right? And every day I'll be taking only 3 to 4 trades or maximum to the 5 because I now follow risk management. More trades are not going to make you wealthy. It's the quantity over quality, the quality over quantity, and that is how I judge it. And हजुरले सोध्नुभयो कि कुन best time हुन्छ. So for me, when I do that analysis, I'll be marking up my zones and very simple thing, 10 minutes लाग्छ त्यसलाई गर्नको लागि.
Okay.
And I'll be prepared. त्यो zone मा, suppose I have a zone marked up here right now. त्यो zone मा you price आएपछि, right? Now see, if this was a zone which I would have marked for sure, the high point, right? Price आएपछि यहाँ अलिकति नाच्यो, and if this price closes up here, right? यो zone को माथि close हुन्छ र त्यसपछि एउटा चाहिँ candle close हुन्छ माथि, so I'll be going for buy. But no, this came down. अब हेर्नुस् यहाँ. What my understanding says is never be impatient, right? Your candle, I'll be zooming it so nice that you can understand, right? यो मेरो zone हो. Simply मैले एउटा example लिएछु है. यो zone मैले बनाएको छु in accordance to the previous day, right? Highlights, high point ला highlight गरेँ. त्यसलाई मैले आजको दिनमा यहाँ extend गरिदिएँ. I do not have this candle shown up, right? But what my understanding says, according to what I learned from Epic Educator, is when this candle closes down here, I will never be selling it. I want one more candle to close down here because that will be showing us a strong bearish move, and then only I'll be jumping into the market. And if I jumped into the market at this point, and see, I'll show you how I do my risk to reward thing also. Just a very quick recap of what I'm going to show in the future also, right? So simply यहाँ मैले के गरेँ, मैले यो point मा किने, that's why it's showing this red and blue separation, right? मैले सधैँ आफ्नो stop loss will be at about this this zone, right? So that I give price the momentum and the area to breathe. Then only this will be price कहिले पनि हजुरको भनेको ठाउँमा आउन. If you are selling it, it is not going to straight away come down because you see यो अलिकति माथि गयो फेरि तल आयो, right? अलिकति माथि गयो फेरि तल आयो. So I have that zones marked up in the day, and then I enter. It can be at the starting of the day also, right? Starting of the day also I have entered a lot of time, but I would never be entering at the end of the day, which is at least 3 hours before the day is about to finish. I will never enter because that is how I analyze the market. And that thing is going to be very interesting, so easy to understand. हेरेर पनि हामीलाई नथाहा हुने कुराहरू सुने पर एकदमै silly लाग्छ के, and that is what happened to me. And yeah, I'll be sharing, I'll be happy to share that thing because this is where I got from. I got it from Epic, right? So we could give it to Epic. Yeah, so they
okay, nice one. Thank you, bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other thing to ask? And session breaks are also very important. I was about to cover it the other day, but since you asked it, so you can have your session breaks on, because this will be saying kun bela kun market when the day has closed, right? See, अब हाम्रो यो day close हुनको लागि, if we go here, just a quick thing that won't take much time on this. अब यो day close हुनको लागि, if anyone can tell me how much time is left, not you. How much time is left for this day to close, for this candle to close? Quick. How much time is left for this candle to close, guys?
So
20 hours.
88 hours, 7 minutes.
It's 48 minutes, 0 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Not us.
Okay,
No
daily
problem.
रहेछ daily रहेछ मैले फोनबाट भएको भएर राम्रो देखेँ
That's how we see, right?
Uh-huh.
Look, kun time frame cha, है ना? See, you got to learn one so silly thing, Didi, because this is so important. हेरेर पनि हामीलाई थाहा हुन्न, right? अनि यो कुरा हजुरले आज एउटा सेसनमा चाहिँ हेर्नु भएको छु मैले I don't know how many sessions I was into. They kept on telling it, but I never gave it importance, which was so silly of me, right? I missed that time, but no problem. Daily मा छ हाम्रो यो cursor, right? र हामीले हेर्नको लागि यो क्यान्डल कहिले क्लोज हुन्छ that was the question. Simply, even if it is in any time frame, when you go to 15 minutes, it is 2 minutes 17 seconds. Simply यहाँ हेर्ने यो left hand side मा हेर्ने हामीले, which is showing out the price and the time left in closing, right? So हाम्रो यो अब यो क्यान्डल क्लोज हुनको लागि 47 minutes बाँकी छ, and what I said is at least 3 hours पहिला मैले एन्टर गर्नु भयो मैले गर्छु, नभए 3 hours को रेन्जमा आइहाले पर either I'll be sleeping or even if it's a good trade I won't go into it because the price has already moved. You understand? Price has already moved. The market has already played its move. So it's not, see, if I was to sell here, what I said, 3-4 hours, right? If I was to sell, yes, so bearish thing, no, I won't be going on it because I don't trust the market. They are there to hurt us. Believe this thing, guys. They are there to hurt us. And see, the next day the price came down, but it shooted up, right? Who knew you would not have patience and you'll be selling it here with a loss of 3-4 pips, right? So do not be impatient. Always have patience in the market, and yeah, 3-4 hours पहिला हामीले गरेपर that will be very good. That is all about when to enter and when to close. So, and you also do all these things analysis on your own strategy. जब हजुरले एउटा strategy बनाउनुहुन्छ, and once you build up a strategy, guys, दुनियाले केही पनि भनेछ, you don't give a fuck about that. You know why? Because you have a strategy and you have your own time to test it. Test गर्नुस्. एउटा loss भयो, दुईटा loss भयो, you should not be moving out of the strategy because those people who are teaching today, they have worked on their strategy for hours, 10,000 hours. That's what they say. No, that's not a silly thing. That's what they have already done, right? That's why they are giving us that strategy. So 10,000 hours कसैले spend गरेर हामीलाई 1 घण्टामा त्यो सिकाइरहेछ, we should be like grateful, Yeah, that's it.
Time मिलाएर within time, definitely this is achievable. It's learnable. Nothing, it's rocket science भन्ने खासै केही पनि छैन. So again, let's appreciate हाम्रो अभिषेक भाइ के अरे लेट्स च्याटमा 111 लेखेर चाहिँ हाम्रो के अरे अभिषेकलाई थ्यांक यू भेरी मच एज अप्रिसिएसन है.
Yeah, thank you, thank you Abhishek, one and all.
My pleasure, Dai. Thank you very much.
अनि मेनली चाहिँ म सबै पार्टिसिपेन्टलाई थ्यांक यू भन्न चाहन्छु. अनि बेसिकली हामी सबै डिफरेन्ट लेभलमा छौँ. हैन, कोही भर्खरै जोइन गर्नु भएको छ है. इभन त्यो पिप्स भनेको पनि के हो त्यो पनि सायद कति हामी भर्खर जोइन भएकोलाई थाहा छैन होला. सो यो अहिले यो लेसन देखेर चाहिँ प्लिज तपाईहरुले चाहिँ त्यो नआतिनु होला हैन. यो एकदम बेसिक कुराहरु छ त्यहाँ. अझै अब हाम्रो फ्राइडे फेरि अर्को सेसन छ, त्यसमा झन् हामी बेसिकमा जान्छौँ. व्हाट इज पिप्स हैन, ट्रेन्ड, सेल के हो, बाइ के हो, एकदम बेसिकमा पनि गएर हामी चाहिँ भन्छौँ. सो तपाईहरु नआतिनु होला. यो अहिले देखेर त एकदम डेप्थमा रहेछ भन्ने पनि नगर्नु होला हैन, किनकि दे आर सो मेनी लस हैन थिङ टु लर्न बेसिक कुराहरु फर्स्ट. अनि त्यो चाहिँ त्यो नसिकिन आउनु हुनेलाई चाहिँ यो अलिकति कम्प्लेक्स पनि लाग्न सक्छ है. तर वी टेक टाइम हैन, जुन वेमा चाहिँ वाट एभर वे वी निड हैन, त्यो वे चाहिँ हामी फाइन्ड आउट गरेर चाहिँ विल गो फ्रम देयर है. एभ्री वान सबैजनालाई लिएर चाहिँ विल रिच आवर गोल हैन. त्यो चाहिँ तपाईहरुले बुझ्नु होला. या थ्यांक्स अगेन है हाम्रो अभिषेक ब्रोदरलाई.